just executing at our standard. It's the reason we've had success in the past, and it doesn't matter anymore. So it's about now. It's about today, and today we took a good opportunity to take the next right step in kind of our execution and paying attention to the little details.
Let's go to Dave Campbell.
Hey, Tanner. I know you guys have talked about the Big Ten's new protocols for playing this season and the 21-day thing. If you've sort of seen what's happened in Wisconsin with their quarterback room, how do you guys as position groups, when you spend a lot of time with your fellow quarterbacks, for example, sort of keep that as a sort of a viable space, knowing that how much time you had to spend with each other, but continue to make sure you guys can stay viable.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously, we're seeing across the country, it's a crazy year and crazy things can happen. Coach has said that, from the jump. So, our entire team is taking the correct protocols, laid out by the state, by the Big Ten. So when we're meeting as quarterbacks, we're all spread out 6 feet apart. We all have our masks on. Coach has his mask on. Unless you take a drink of water, put it right back up. So, we're taking it seriously because, 21 days is a long time. And that's something that we really can't afford. Obviously, you can catch COVID by still doing the right things, but we have to take all the necessary precautions. And that's something our team's been extremely that I'm proud of that our team's doing, because, they've made a lot of sacrifices for our team. And it's not very easy. It's not traditional. It's not always the easiest thing to do. But it's the right thing for our team, and I'm just proud of our guys for sacrificing stuff like that.
Let's go to Joe Schmit.
Yeah, Tanner. After the game, you kind of took blame for the loss. How do you make sure you don't put too much on yourself, that you don't beat yourself up too much, and you can move forward?
Oh, I mean, it's all about response. So you take it and learn from it, and it's not looking at what happened is not as an opportunity of oh, woe is me, and because failure is quitting, and that's something that we'll never do. It's something I'll never do. But really looking at it as an opportunity to take it and, okay, how can I do better? What do I need to do better, and how am I going to be better in that aspect? But I mean, at the end of the day, things run through me, and I have to be better for our team to be successful, and I will be. And that's just kind of what we're practicing and doing little things and kind of getting back into it.
Let's go to Daniel House.
Hey, Tanner, what did you think of the offensive line and Mo's performance on the ground during Saturday's game?
Yeah, I think they played really physical and did a lot of really good things. Mo ran the ball really hard, and our guys up front did a great job of creating holes, creating lanes for Mo, and executing their job. And it was something that was really good to see against a really talented and physical defense. So, it was definitely a good thing to see on film.
All right, Meg Ryan, Star Tribune.
Hi, Tanner. How are you?
Hi, Meg. I'm Elite. How are you?
Doing okay. Thanks for asking. I wanted to kind of get your perspective now that it's been a couple of days. Maybe you've kind of reflected, I guess. How was it that first game with Mike Sanford as the offensive coordinator? Just how did the system feel within the game? How was his kind of coaching within a game? I'm just kind of curious, how that relationship works. Now you have this kind of in-game experience with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I think it felt really, really good. As coach was able to kind of create his, pattern or his flow. Kind of feeling that out, and coach did a great job of calling plays, and we just have to execute better as players, and of course that starts with me. But yeah, no, it felt really good. Happy with obviously, and I'm glad that he's here, glad that he's on our staff, that he's a part of our program, and really happy the way that things turned out. And again, as players, we have to execute better for those calls to work. And again, it starts with me. So, yeah.
Let's go to Eric Strack.
Tanner, how do you feel you went through your reads and progressions on Saturday?
I think I did okay. There were some things where I think I needed to again, have better pocket movement, whether it was stepping up and maybe escaping or whatever. And then, obviously, a couple throws that if they were a little bit, if they were better, could have been, big plays. So I think the read, going through the reads wasn't necessarily a huge issue. Obviously, I still need to be better. There was a couple plays where I could have gone through faster, could have gone through better, and that's something that I'm working at and that we're continuing to work at.
Jeff Wald, Fox 9.
Hey, Tanner. Kind of picking up of what Dave asked earlier, just in terms of, I'm sure you're aware of what's going on in Wisconsin with their quarterback situation. As it relates to you guys and the leaders on this team, how do you kind of hold each other accountable? Because away from football, you're still college kids. You have friends outside of football. A lot of you have girlfriends. What do you do to hold each other accountable to make sure you stay safe?
Yeah, I mean, I think a big part of it is, doing everything we can to spend time with each other, around the facility, like watching film. And, we have Zoom classes, we have stuff. It's not like, it's the summer and we have a ton of, free time, but our guys and our leaders are doing a great job of being able to, when we have opportunities to have free time, be safe. And, if guys see somebody doing something or not that it's happened, but I think one thing that's been good for us, as Coach talked about, is, creating a synthetic bubble. And I think our players have taken that to heart because, your girlfriend could give it to you, whatever. And that's, nobody wants to sit out 21 days, point blank period. And I think our guys are taking it very, very seriously and doing all the right things outside of the facility.
Let's go to Andy Greder.
Tanner, we saw quite a bit more targets to tight ends. Obviously, Co with the touchdown. What did you like in that aspect and how that kind of helps your offense?
Yeah, I think it helps our offense a lot. It's something that people have been talking about for a long time, that we've been talking about for a long time, to get our tight ends more involved. And, Co had 2 catches. Both of them were big time for us. And so it's good to see, it's good for us to get, more people involved in our offense, obviously. And it helps, spread things out. And it was just really good to see Co come up big in those 2 plays right there.
We'll take 2 more. We'll go to Meg Ryan and finish with Daniel House. Go ahead, Meg.
Tanner, I was curious. I guess I don't know if it's really much different at all, but being that this is the first away game in like the COVID era, I'm just kind of curious, how is that going to change your routine? Or like, is it going to be a little bit, there's more trepidation with traveling in this kind of environment? I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of curious if there's been any kind of new developments about that, or how you guys kind of maybe will travel differently with everything going on now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I think the answer is, I don't think it really changes much because, we're all tested every day and we're all around each other. So, from the traveling aspect, I don't really imagine it changing much. Just the stadium will be empty again, just like it was last week. But our routine is, something that we've been doing for a long time, and something that helps us, create rhythm and something that we're routine based. So, I don't think it will change very much, but it's a good question. It's interesting for sure.
All right, Daniel House, last question. Go ahead.
While studying Maryland, what stood out to you, Tanner?
Yeah, I think, Maryland does a lot of really good things. I can't really pinpoint one thing that really stands out to me, but what I'd say is they got guys that can make plays. They have a lot of really talented guys that can make a lot of plays, that can do different things. So we're excited for the challenge. We're excited to have another opportunity to go against a really good defense. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you, Tanner. Thank you, everyone. We'll be right back here with Coney Durr in a couple minutes. All right, thanks. Thank you everyone for your patience. As you can see, we have Coney Durr here with us now. If you have a question for Coney, go ahead and send me a message in chat. Let's go to Greeter. Coney, thank you for unmuting. Appreciate it. Andy, go ahead.
Hey, Coney, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Fine.
I wanted to ask you, PJ talked about maybe the defense playing a little hesitant at times on Saturday. How do you guys try to find a way to play faster?
Just putting that in that extra time. We put in a lot of time in Michigan, but feel like getting those, everybody just up to speed on the same page and overdoing it, kind of going over assignment twice. We got a lot of younger guys, so bringing those guys up to speed and just being able to play fast. So just crossing our I's and dotting our T's and, just getting to it.
Let's go to Meg Ryan.
Hi, Coney. Good to see you.
How you doing?
I wanted to ask you, like after this first game, obviously special teams, there's people missing. I mean, there's people missing on every side of the ball, basically. But you guys the defense got kind of put in some tough spots, right? How do you work on adjusting for that or kind of like compensating for that, knowing that if certain people are going to be out, it could kind of make your job a little bit tougher or anybody's job a little bit tougher. I guess, how have you guys kind of worked on adjusting and, compensating for that?
Well, first and foremost, man, it's our job as a defense to get the offense on the field. So wherever the ball's at, we expect for them to get a 3 and out and get the offense back on the field. So basically just playing good defense. We're going to sometimes you're going to be put in tough situations and you got to find a way out. So you got to have that mentality on defense. So wherever they get the ball you can't get in the end zone. So that's pretty much how we approach that, that situation.
Daniel House, go ahead.
Hey, Coney, do you feel like it takes more game reps to get the communication down when you have so many young guys on defense right now?
Yeah, definitely. Experience is really huge. I mean, I've been playing for 3 years and some things may come easier to me than other guys. So getting those guys up to speed, I mean, they got through right into the fire playing Michigan. So, but it's no excuses. I mean, you gotta be ready to play. So, I mean, the other team not gonna feel sorry for you. So basically, like I said earlier, man, we just got to get to it, prepare, just keep preparing and just be ready.
Let's go to Eric Strack.
Coney, big plays were a problem against Michigan, and Maryland relies heavily on big plays for their offense. How do you go about stopping those this week?
Yeah, first and foremost, Maryland has a pretty great wide receiving core, a pretty young quarterback, but they got playmakers all over the place. So the secondary definitely had to step up. It's going to be a huge challenge, and we'll be prepared for it. And just knowing our assignments and being able to play fast is the biggest thing. So we just been preparing this week and ready to get back on the field.
Jeff Wald, go ahead.
Hey, Coney, I kind of have a two-parter here. First of all, Coach Fleck told us yesterday that you were one of the main guys that came to him about the HERE campaign. What was your motivation in that sense? And then also, how did kind of what happened in May with George Floyd, how did that kind of magnify everything that's gone on this year with more talks about, social injustice and racism?
Oh yeah, Coach Fleck. Soon as everything went down, he single-handedly called every single person on the team. He met with our parents, and as soon as we were able to meet, like as a group, back with each other with all the COVID restrictions, we definitely had those conversations in the leadership council, and we talked about like what helped and how could our platform change things. So we just talk about like educating people on past racism and how African Americans are put in those situations how African Americans are in the situation that they are in today. So just having those conversations with guys that may not understand or may not have been taught, those experiences or having experienced that. And we also having guys on the team talk about their experiences. So like, we're a pretty close team, and everybody is different from hearing something on TV than hearing it from a brother you're around every day. So just getting those guys up to speed about just educating them about what's really going on in America and why certain things are happening. So it's been a blessing. I really respect Coach Fleck for allowing us to, share our experiences and just have that uncomfortable conversations with everybody. And I definitely feel like we've been progressing, and a lot of guys on the team have been learning from those peer talks.
Thank you, Coney. We'll go back to Andy Greder, and then we'll finish with Meg Ryan. So go ahead, Andy.
Coney, I see you're in the DB room. What have the older DBs, you, Benjamin, Howden, been sharing with Newbin as he kind of gets his first real taste? What's kind of the message for the older guys to the younger guys?
Yeah, man, I tell Newbin all the time, he's gonna be I don't tell him that, but I know he's gonna be a pretty good player. I just try to tell him, man, don't try to force anything, play within your game, and just let the game come to you. So just tell him, man, just communication. The biggest thing we focus on is communication in the secondary, and kind of getting those, young guys to talk up and just across the board. So just the biggest thing with us is communicating and knowing our assignments and just being able to play fast. I feel like we just need to be able to play fast and showcase our talents.
All right, last question. Let's go to Meg Ryan.
Tony, I'm curious how you personally approach this season. Just being that it's a very weird year. You're one of the older guys on the defense, which there's not a lot of those either. And it's kind of like, I feel like, the cornerback position was one of the ones where there was some returning starters, and that kind of had to be a point of leadership, I guess, on the defense. And so I guess I'm just curious, like for you personally, how did you kind of enter this season and maybe your approach to kind of being one of those leaders or trying to take on more of that responsibility on the field and off the field?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going into, a role of leadership is always kind of tough, especially having guys like, Antoine, Carter, Kamal. They kind of led as a group. And now it's kind of like a split. We got a lot of younger guys and like very few older guys. So kind of just bringing those guys up to speed and letting them know that, showing them how to study film, showing them how to, approach practice, things like that, just the everyday things that they haven't, freshmen like Cody Lindenberg, he's fresh out of high school. He hasn't, he don't know how to approach the game. He don't know how to really study film. He don't know really how we practice on a day-to-day basis during the season. So kind of, leading by example and like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. And just bringing those guys up to the standard, that's the biggest thing the older guys try to do. And just getting those guys up to standard and just getting it rolling.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Coney, thank you very much. We'll talk to everyone soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Coney.